So it'll take a minute. There's a little bit of a delay, and it's okay if you have your head down looking for the show, because I still will talk during it.
Okay.
And then once I have everybody ready to go, I'm still going to talk through it. So we're officially live. So you should be able to see it if you refresh the page.
Okay.
Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. Last show of the day, virtual happy hour with Michele Butler, Lana Faulkner, Lisa New, Susan Southerland, Faye. You only have Faye, and I don't remember what your last name is, but I know Faye. I have Susie Weiss. I don't have Elizabeth. I have Jen. So welcome everybody to the show. Did I miss anybody? Are you guys seeing the show live? You should on my page.
You got us all.
I see.
Right.
Yep, you have us.
And then I'm going to go ahead and share it right now myself.
Me too. Oh, there we are.
I'm sharing too.
Yep.
Okay, I don't know where to do. Oh, share photo? No.
Oh Lord.
It's okay. There's no perfect science to this. It's always crazy.
But it's always fun.
It's always fun, and that's the thing with technology. It does great things for us, but it doesn't always go right. Obviously, I'm learning that as we go as well. All right, so I'm going to hit play just so I can pay attention to any kind of comments we have in case somebody pops on and says hi. So welcome. So I've got to start with thank you and happy Monday night to everyone. Cheers.
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 Virtual happy hour.
Cheers.
All of your drinks look real good. Obviously, the cohort, the crazy one behind all of this, besides me, is Michele Butler. Michelle's been a wonderful guest on the show many times, a great friend of mine. So when we were talking about doing virtual happy hours, I'm like, well, I'm hosting them for people, mainly because I want more people to see the positive out there. And you guys, we're all kind of going through the same thing. So Michele said, absolutely. And you ladies came on board, and there's the history. So enough about me. Michele, why don't you start? Tell us a little bit about you, and then I'm just going to go around Brady Bunch style and just pick names.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm Michele Butler. I'm an event planner, a wedding coordinator, a wedding show producer, a lover of all things events. And then, of course, I have this really great group of girlfriends that we've been friends for a very long time. Is it going on like 20 years or something that we've been a part of each other's lives? Yeah. So we go through everything together, funerals and breakups and weddings and all of it. So I'm very fortunate to have them here with me tonight.
I love it. All right, so I'm just going to go like the way I see it. So I'm going to start up at the top left with Lana. Hey, Lana.
Hey, everybody.
Tell us a little bit about you and your beautiful yard in the background, which I love.
Well, I chose a background of flowers because I'm the florist in the group. I own Fairbanks Florist, and we've been in business about 38 years, so a very long time. I love everything flowers, and I specialize mostly in weddings now. We do some corporate work. Maybe not right now, but we were doing some corporate work. I just used to be a full-service florist and did daily deliveries and all that, but a few years ago, we decided to specialize in what we love, which is weddings and parties. So right now, we're not working, but we will be soon. We're looking forward to getting back to doing what we love to do. And my husband loves flowers. He works with me also, Art Faulkner. And Art's a professional photographer, so we have some pretty cool images to share with our brides and our clients. But this bougainvillea behind us, he trims it and takes care of it, so it's one of the things that brings us a lot of joy right now. In the mornings, we have coffee out here, and we have a lot of fun on the patio.
It's beautiful. For those who can't see it, that's not a fake background. That's real.
There you go.
It's gorgeous.
Isn't it pretty?
It's so pretty, honestly.
Right now
all
we have birds nest in it, so we're watching the birds too.
It's very pretty. Mine all seem to die. I'm sure it's my fault. All right, I'm going to skip over to Lisa New. Lisa, hello, welcome, and tell us a little bit about you.
Hello, Ted. Thank you, and thanks for having us. Basically, I have been in the weddings and events and catering and sales area for hotels and restaurants for over 30 years. So I started when I was 12.
Of course. I was thinking younger, but okay.
And so I have a wide variety of experience with many different hotels such as Hilton, and I worked at Disney. I actually used to do Jennifer Sharpe's job that she's doing now, Disney Fairy Tale Weddings. And so I've always kind of been involved in the wedding industry as well as corporate events. So right now I'm currently unemployed, so out there looking for a job whenever this thing ends. So that's basically what's happening with me.
All right, so Susan, thank you for sharing. Susan Southerland, how about you?
Well, I am president of Just Events Group, and actually we started all this because Michelle worked with me and then went off on her own, but we remained friends. And actually Faye worked for me and she went off on her own. My goodness, guys. You know, I've been a wedding and an event planner for, oh my gosh, since 1992. I lost track of like how many years that is, but a long time. And, you know, we do events all over the country and some internationally. And currently we're all unemployed because nothing's happening. So just trying to keep my staff employed and applying for grants and loans and trying to keep the machine going, and also trying to be a resource for other small business owners and trying to help them with all the crazy paperwork and all of the things that seem to change on a daily basis. They put up one set of rules and then the next day there's a new set of rules and then another file to forms or form to file. I haven't even been drinking much, but you know, again, like the others have said, love the event industry, love the hospitality industry. So looking forward to everybody getting back to work safely and hoping that we all pull through nicely.
Absolutely. All right, I have to say, if any of you have your volume on your phone or other particular thing that you might have next to you, we can hear it a little bit in the background.
Turn it off.
All right, so, and it might not be anybody, it could just be me, but I hear something. All right, Faye, tell us about you.
So I became part of this group through Susan and Michelle. They invited me to have drinks with one night and decided I was worthy.
And so few are, Faye. So few
I know. I'm very honored. But so I was been in the event planning business, weddings and bar and bat mitzvahs mostly. I started with Susan in 2002 and went out on my own 7 years ago and just decided that I wanted my Saturday nights back. So I was closing down my business. I still have 2 more events that just got rescheduled, but they're going to happen. But about a year ago, I started being, can I say the name of the company?
Yeah.
Mary Kay Beauty Consultant, and I'm actually able to work during this time. So that's been a lifesaver. Yes. So I have been figuring out this virtual world of doing facials online, you know, Vanna Whiting some or Kiwi product and saying, this is what it does. Look how gorgeous I am. So yeah. So that's what I've been doing to keep myself busy. Oh, and I wanted to show y'all my mask.
That's very pretty.
Oh, very cute. That's cool.
That's great.
Yeah. So that's what I've been doing to keep sane, if you call that sanity.
Facials online, though, we have to definitely talk about that. That sounds like a fun show.
It is. So we're working it out and working it. So I've been very lucky, very blessed that I'm still able to work and keep myself busy during this time.
I love it. Thank you. All right, Susie, how about you?
Well, I'm the most senior of the team, if that's a term. I had a wedding planning company in Ware Park for 27 years. And then about 6 months ago, my husband and I moved to New Smyrna Beach, but I started another company over here 3 years ago so that it would be in place before we actually moved. And my goal was to, now that I'm in my golden years, is to do a little less work.
Susie, you're 20.
Do a little less work than I used to do. And so I'm fortunate that, you know, I don't have a big staff that I've had to lay off, and I'm not going to go punch any buttons, try to get any money from the rest of the people that need it more than me. I've had to reschedule a couple of weddings, and I'm feeling I'm going to have to reschedule a couple more. But I felt like I was smart by 3 years before I actually moved here to start the company. So that by the time I got here, it had a foothold, and I'm pleased with our success. This is just a little bump in the road, but that's okay. I've known these ladies for a very long time. Lana and I, well, Lana was one of the first vendors I met back in 1989 when I started the company. And I've known Susan and Michele for a very long time. And I have cats that belong to Jennifer's mother cat from like 15 years ago. And Lisa and I did a wedding together at Disney. And Faye and I are just, I actually the other day, I just called her instead of texting her because I felt like I was going to make a point every day this week. I'm going to call somebody and just talk to them because that's better than talking than texting or emailing, because I think we need that connection now. So.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah. All right, last but not least, Jennifer Sharpe, right?
Yes.
Hey, Jen.
Hi, good evening. Hi, ladies. So excited to be here with all of you. Just a little bit about myself. I went here to the University of Florida, graduated, met my husband there, been married 24 years actually.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you. 2 daughters. So first and foremost, I'm a mom, but my second passion in life is weddings. And I've been in the industry handling weddings and events since 1992 or 3, something like that. Because I was started to work and do events even in college. But met these ladies, Susan and Michele, when they were together, 1998. I want to say.
Think so. Yeah.
We came with an idea at the Swan and Dolphin at the time. I was like, I don't want to handle these small weddings anymore. They're getting and Susan's like, oh, I have an idea and a proposal. We'll come in and we will handle your weddings for you. All these little, things. And I'm like, oh my God, this is brilliant. Great. I'll book them and you service them. It's amazing. And kind of Susan developed that whole intimate wedding package pretty much in place at every main hotel in Orlando right now, which is like pretty cool. Susan kind of started that, and I spent some time in hotels, Ritz-Carlton, some different hotels. Now I'm at Fairy Tale Weddings, and right now just being a psychologist, psychiatrist, shoulder to lean on, sounding board, emotion, you name it. We are the EAP of our brides right now, just trying to keep everybody happy and at bay, and just been dealing with a lot of postponements and some cancellations, but for the most part, trying to keep everybody happy and just kind of keep mind and off of things to just ease their worries so that when this all reopens, it gets back to normal, we're going to carry on and we're going to carry on and plan on. Right, ladies? That's what we're going to do.
Hey, absolutely.
So before I ask my next generic question, general question, I have to say my perception of the wedding planning business, the planning business, is very cutthroat. And so and that's probably from the movies. It's not from anything personal. It's just,
oh, no.
Right? So, but what a beautiful thing. All of you are like, all sort of dance around each other, and yet have a great deal of respect and have worked with each other in some way, shape, or form. And yet you still all of you talked about weddings or different events and things like that. So kudos to you for making it collaborative rather than so cutthroat, and that you have true relationships, true friendships from that, because I think that a lot of people in the same industry, they get caught up in the competition rather than the collaboration. And obviously you guys have found a way to collaborate. So,
yeah. Well, Ted,
community over competition. That's the word, right?
Yep.
That's a good summation, Ted. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Something special and unique, honestly, just in Orlando. I really feel like we talked about this before, like other marketplaces, Atlanta, New York, they're not as nice as this marketplace, because it's not just us. It's a lot of our vendors. I mean, we even have a group chat on Messenger that has how many wedding planners in it that are on this
wedding planners, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
All struggle with different things, and occasionally there's certain dates where all the bands booked and we want to know who's available. We all work as a team, I really feel like, and that's not the case in a lot of markets.
No,
So,
it feels positive. Like you can't, one of the reasons why I love in person, but I certainly love this Zoom, is you really can't fake it no matter what. And so you guys have a real relationship and a real respect for each other. And you can tell that there's this long-term collaboration, and that respect is definitely part of the conversation, which is really, really cool. So kudos to you. I wanted to throw that out as my immediate observation of this group. So big kudos. All right, so tell me what you are doing, because you're obviously events nobody can go to. So weddings, I've had friends, kids' weddings especially, who have been postponed, and it's devastating. And I think maybe Jen was saying that you're playing counselor and bartender, and I threw bartender in there, psychiatrist. You're doing all of these things for the people because it's so stressful.
yeah.
You planned your dream wedding, you planned your dream event, and now you can't have it because you can't have people together anymore. So tell me what you all are doing to stay creative, to keep not only you personally, you moving forward and staying positive, but in your businesses, still allowing your businesses to continue on and keep up whatever momentum you can in this time. And I'm going to start, it's easy at the bottom. I'm going to start with Lisa New. Can you kind of give us insight on what you're doing and how you're handling it?
Well, I don't own a business, but what I've been doing during this time is, besides praying a lot, which helps immensely, is looking for webinars and different things online, because I feel like I'm always wanting to learn sales techniques or interviewing or improving yourself and things like that. So I think everyone should try to do that during this time, because it keeps you motivated. It keeps you, you schedule a time to watch a webinar, and keeps me busy, and always trying to improve myself for when this whole thing is over. I'm gonna be a whole new Lisa New.
A new Lisa New.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, how about you, Jen?
Oh goodness. Honestly, we've been so extremely busy just trying to assist our current brides. I'm not in that stage yet where I'm needing to keep my, we've been working. But I do know that if and when the time comes, if I have a furlough that's upcoming, or if I need to spend time at home, I have already a list of 10 items that I am going to be working on. 10. Yeah. And I agree with Lisa, like there's a ton of different learnings and webinars. I know a lot of us have our certified wedding planners certification, and I want to get my senior level. I'm already eligible for it, but I never have time to like sit down and just go through and apply to get the senior level taken care of. And I know that's something that I really want to do. So I have it all sitting on my desk, and it's part of my, if I'm at home, to take care of. So
love it. All right, how about you, Susie?
Well, I launched my first Facebook ad the other day, and I have to say it wasn't terribly successful, but I'll give it another shot. I had, 2 responses, and one was from a guy.
Susie,
Susie.
Susie's a little frozen.
What's that?
You froze up a little.
Okay, it says my internet connection is unstable.
We're all unstable right now, so don't take
We're
it.
all super unstable right
And
now.
then I had another person who after I saw her name, I went on Facebook to check her out. And she hasn't made me post on Facebook for like 4 years. But she thought it was terrible that I was going to be advertising during this time. And it wasn't an ad. I was giving my service away to help anybody who needed help getting through the cancellation, postponement, reschedule process, because I've been doing this for 30 years and I wanted to offer my talents. I've been checking in with my clients that that are on the edge here, the June weddings, to see how they're doing.
Yeah.
And on a personal note, I've been organizing family photos, which I thought it was all done with in 2007. And then when we moved 6 months ago, I found another whole box under the guest room bed. So, and those are done. So now I got to find something else to do. So,
Well, I have a lot of photos, Susie. I'll be happy to drop them off your front door.
I'll give you my address.
All right, how about you, Faye?
So I did have 2 events cancel, and we're just waiting to find dates that they can reschedule. One's a bar mitzvah, which is kind of interesting because these kids study for a year for that Torah portion. So now these poor kids are going to be reading a Torah portion that doesn't go with their date. And thankfully, the rabbis have said, do the one you were supposed to do. They're not making them learn the new one because it can take a year to learn these Torah.
That's good.
They are hard. So that was an interesting bravo to the rabbis. I thought that was really great, and they're taking lessons over the internet. The other one was a fundraiser for a charity that had to close their doors for now, the JCC. They have closed their doors, which is really scary. But we're going to open back up. They're going to open back up, and we will have the event where they're looking at September. That was the last email I got. But what I've been doing is trying to work myself into the 21st century. Last weekend, it's really hard to get to the 21st century. Let me
It is.
Yeah. So last weekend I took
of wine.
I took a 2-day course that was 6 hours each day on advertising on social media. So it was fascinating. And I got this lovely background, ladies. Y'all didn't even say anything because this is obviously not my house. It's a background that I taped to some bookends, and I need some compliments, y'all.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
I
Okay,
can't really
so,
see it because I'm blind, but it looks gorgeous.
thank you.
Yeah.
So that was part of what I learned. And I got me a ring light. I think you can see it in my glasses if I hold my head.
That is cool.
Very excited about that.
Yeah, but you know what, Faye? I want
this
to
is
tell you
cool,
that ring
y'all.
light
It
looks
clips
good.
onto your computer.
It looks good, actually.
$9.95 on Amazon.
$9.
And like I said, I'm still trying to sell lipstick, and anybody wants to look younger, please look me up. It's Faye Novick.
I'm a perfect example of that. When I look
Hey, you didn't mention you're an actress.
Yes.
Oh, I forgot. I'm an actress.
How could you forget that?
How could I forget?
You forgot?
Y'all know me, and I've had a half a glass of wine, so I totally forgot. Yes, I'm an actress. So haven't had any auditions, but I've been watching seminars and webinars and looking up, what other acting teachers are teaching right now. I got on Zoom with my acting class the other night, and that was very uplifting. And watching, Facebook Lives from my acting teacher. So I've been busy. I haven't
You
even
are
noticed.
busy.
Been busy.
I'm very busy. I have a schedule of Zoom calls. I'm busy.
I love it.
Lord.
All right, how about you, Michelle?
Oh, well, obviously so Damon loves to joke and say, you're off, for COVID. And I'm like, I don't know why you think I'm not working, because there may not be money coming in right now, but I have contracts and clients, and I have to take care of them, and I have to plan their events and their weddings and everything. So I'm very much business as usual. Monday through Friday, I'm still working. I'm still having calls with my clients. I'm still booking vendors, which makes me happy that my clients are signing contracts with, bands and photographers. And so at least I'm feeding the industry, which is nice. I would love to do some of those webinars and things, but now it's trying to fit the time in to do them, but I will as well. But I've been cleaning my office, which is good. So I have made some time to do that. So just trying to just hold it all together for my clients. And I did have a couple weddings that weren't the big to-dos they were supposed to be, but they were like small events that I did go to and helped, make sure that everything went well. And then I'll be a part of their next event too. So, still sort of some business, going on.
Good. All right, Susan, how about you?
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm very lucky that I have a fairly decent sized team, and they've been the ones handling, rescheduling and counseling to all our various clients who, particularly the weddings. The corporate stuff bottomed out first. I mean, they were all like, cancel, 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 gone. So the corporate team is working on building on stuff in the future. The weddings are trying to console everybody. You know, we've rescheduled now, I guess, through May, getting a little anxious about June to see what happens. But I also have 3 kids at home. So working on school, which has been just delightful. My 7-year-old is actually easier than my 2 18-year-olds, but you know, that's a whole other story. That's another meeting. But you know, trying to get schoolwork done, cooking, and just doing webinars on all these applications, as well as watching educational stuff. So keeping busy, and as we discussed earlier, eating an awful lot. I'm going to need to learn how to sew and let out all of my clothing, because we sit and we eat and we work.
I love it.
You need to talk about, though, how you've been on the forefront of assisting people with getting the grants and the money, and you know, you've really been involved and been a voice in the industry to assist with getting what we need for all the hospitality workers that are furloughed and out of work right now. So she's been actually
That's so sweet of you to say. I mean, it started because, you know, I had to save my own rear end. And I'm lucky that I have, you know, a voice in various places to be able to help other small business owners. We discussed earlier Steve Martin with Omni Productions. He's been great about putting together some experts, and I'm part of a panel that interviews them, and we're doing another one tomorrow, so that'll be out. But also, you know, I'm so moved by people in the industry. There are a couple of other people that were just collaborating and getting information out, because, you know, our industry was devastated. It was a hard stop. It wasn't like a slow wind down. It was all of a sudden in one day, everybody was unemployed, a complete standstill. And you know, and it goes so much further than us with companies like this. When you think of all the housemen and the servers and the housekeepers, and you know, they don't have these same opportunities. And even trying to collect unemployment has been such a challenge. So just trying to keep doing research again, because things change so quickly. I'm very quick to say I'm neither a lawyer nor a CPA, so everyone has to check things out. But I've just been trying to get out information as quickly as it comes and help as many people who need the help, because I'm lucky to have a lot of support, and some people are in this just by themselves, and it's so hard to navigate. So yeah, thank you, Jen, for mentioning that.
That's sweet. All right, last but not least, Lana.
Well, I really have been working almost the entire time. Also, I had a lot of weddings that are rescheduling, and of course all my corporate work totally, you know, was canceled. So it's been a big hit, unfortunately, but you know, all I have really cared about is trying to help my clients find the right date where all the vendors kind of come together. That's been probably one of the most difficult things. And then another thing that I'm seeing is that a lot of dates in 2021 are really filling up quickly. So I'm having brides that I'm talking to all the way into 2022 because these dates are getting booked. I think that what we're going to see is that, you know, 2021 is just going to be really busy. We're probably going to be going 100 miles an hour, and people are going to have to start deferring dates to 2022, which is crazy. But I think for the most part, you know, brides are taking this time to ask questions, start planning, or just, you know, regrouping. And so it's keeping us, you know, as busy as we can. And on Lisa's note, I'm signed up for a couple of webinars so that I can, you know, learn a few new things. And my husband and I, we've been repainting the house. So in between all of that, you know, I've had a paintbrush in my hand and streaks of paint in my hair. So I'm doing some like, what do they call that?
Highlighting.
Natural highlights with white paint. Anyway, you know, I do have employees, and I've listened to Susan's webinars that she's put out, and we've definitely applied for the paycheck program and for the disaster loan. And so we're really hoping that that's going to come forward so that even though we don't have weddings, we can put our employees back to work doing other things. And so that's what we intend to do if that comes through for us. And we were really lucky. We bank with Bank of America. Friday morning at 10 a.m., we got an email telling us we could apply for that loan. And, you know, we did it. It was so simple to do.
Yeah.
So that was, it felt like a weight was almost off the shoulders. Even though we haven't been approved, we're certainly hoping that it comes through, and we will use it for the things we need to use it for, which is our rent and insurance and utilities and paying our employees and paying us. I mean, we are sole proprietors. Art and I, you know, we work 60 to 80 hours a week sometimes. So everything that we do supports our home and our personal life. So, and getting a little time with family here and there, that's really been what kept us going. So, yeah.
So
and
awesome.
I've been through some Tai Chi, so, you know, get that energy flowing.
All right, so the most, cheers to that. I like your glass. It's much bigger than my glass. So the most important thing I think for people to do when we have happy hours and we have discussions, and I mean, the happy hours are just really a way for everybody to kind of get to know you as business people, whether you're owner or not owner. But I think that if people can share all of the shows that we do, especially this show, with other people out there, you know, we are going to be planning, as they were saying now, they're looking at 2021 dates. So if you're on the fence and trying to wait it out and not planning, you really want to reach out to somebody who's in the business, because I think that you might be behind the curve if you don't. So what I want to leave on, and I'm going to start with Lana and work backwards again, just tell people how they can reach you, what your website is, if you have a Facebook page, just give them the best way that they can reach out to you. And I'll start with Lana.
Thank you. Well, we are available on all social media outlets. We're on Facebook, of course, Instagram, we're on LinkedIn, we're on Twitter, we're on Pinterest. Our company name is Fairbanks Florist, and we are on fairbanksflorist.net. I published a blog 2 blogs ago, and it's how to navigate the COVID-19 rescheduling. So in that, we gave some advice about what to do for brides, and also we wrote a letter to our clients, which we published in that blog. And so I'm available. What I do is when my clients give me an inquiry, I send them a link to my calendar, and then they can make an appointment with me. And what it does is it connects with Zoom. So immediately, once they make the appointment, they have a Zoom meeting with me. And I have 7 meetings this week, which is great. I mean, that's like a normal week for me. So I'm very pleased that people are, you know, taking this time to reach out, right? And I haven't really booked any new business yet, but I've been helping, like I said, my other clients. So I'm looking forward to the new business start.
Awesome. All right, how about you, Susan?
So we are on all the social media that Lana said. If you're a corporate client, you can find us at justrightdestinationmanagement.com, and it's actually justrightdm.com. And for our wedding clients, it's justmarry, JUSTMARRY.com. And of course, those handles work on all the social media.
Love it. How about you, Michele?
So, well, I'm Michele Butler Events. So it's michellebutlerevents.com with 1 L in Michelle. And I, of course, I'm on all of the social media outlets as well. And then I also produce the Winter Park Wedding Stroll and the Downtown Wedding Stroll, which are also wedding shows that'll hopefully help kick everything off again and help everybody with their planning. So we're crossing our fingers.
Absolutely. All right. How about you, Faye?
Okay, so remember how I mentioned that I'm trying to make it into the 21st century?
Yes.
Okay, so I do have a Facebook page. It's Faye Rosing Novick. Thank you. Faye Rosing, R-O-S-I-N-G, Novick. You can reach me on AOL. Faye Novick at AOL.
Oh,
like
gosh,
I said,
Faye.
that 21st
Loving
century.
that. That's
yeah,
good.
I'm working it. I'm working it. I do have my AARP card. So yeah, they let me on
Me
AOL.
too.
And those are the two best ways. I don't want to give out my phone number to text, but so those are the two best ways to get me.
Awesome. How about you,
So if
Susie?
you want lipstick, let me know.
Oh,
Oh
lipstick.
yeah, and I forgot. You could do maryk.com/Faye Novick
There
if you
you
want to find me.
All right, Susie, how about you?
Well, my website is a mouthful. The company is called Seaside Soirees and Weddings.com. And I am on Facebook. I'm also trying to bring myself into the 20th century. Part of that Facebook ad that I did was actually an open letter to.
Uh-oh, she froze.
Oh, Susie froze.
You gotta get better internet.
Okay.
Yeah.
That while I experienced what it was like to have weddings during 9/11 and what it was like to have weddings during a hurricane, this is nothing like any of those things. It's a totally different experience, and none of us had any experience with it, but we're doing the best we can. And I just wanted to reach out to those who might need some help to see if we can sit down and reschedule their wedding and let them know what's the next plan of action, and let's move on to 2021. And we all thought this was going to be the best year ever. Huh. And thank you, Ted, for letting us do this. This is wonderful.
Absolutely. All right, how about you, Jen?
Well, you can reach us at disneyweddings.com for any inquiries or questions or to see what we have to offer. If you want your fairy tale wedding at Walt Disney World reopen, that would be the best way. And of course, we're on all the different social media apps to find fairy tale weddings.
All right, last but not least, Lisa New.
Oh, well, I don't have a website, but I am on Facebook and I am on LinkedIn. So you could go look me up on LinkedIn. It's Lisa New, N as in Nancy, EW, the opposite of old. And you can see all of my qualifications on there. And I am ready to start a career in event planning, event sales, wedding sales, all the things that I've experienced throughout my career. So I'm ready to roll when we are over this nasty thing. So thank you, Ted.
They need you beforehand to get them started, right? They shouldn't wait till this is over.
Right.
They need to hire you now.
Yeah, to get it rolling.
Yeah.
All right, you guys have been an absolute joy. Thank you so much for sharing what you're going through and what you do. I think it's so good for businesses to see that people are still working and what they're doing to continue on, because I think a lot of people are in that give up mode, and you all have that positive energy and you're pushing through, which is what we're all doing. And I just appreciate you coming on and sharing part of your life and having a cocktail, or 10 in my case, with me today. So make sure you tag yourself when we share the show. Tag yourself so that I can make sure I tag you properly afterward. Thank you, Lana and Susan and Michelle and Faye and Susie and Jen and Lisa. You guys rock. So thank you. Yay, we did it.
Bye.
Have a beautiful night. Keep drinking. Keep being positive. Thank you. Thank you. Have a great one.
You too.
Bye, y'all. Good to see everybody.
Bye,
everybody.
You guys